Hush is a slasher movie written and directed by Mike Flanagan and Kate Siegel. This movie is about a young novelist. She's living in the middle of nowhere by herself. She's deaf. She's not good at cooking. She has a friend, neighbor that hangs out with her. And one night she finds herself being harassed by a masked killer. This masked killer wants to kill her, and she's at a disadvantage because she cannot hear. So by the time the killer has introduced himself, he's already taken away her phone and done other things to cut her off from other people. So this movie, I really want to check it out because I like Mike Flanagan. I love Oculus, and I like other things that he's done. And Kate Siegel, I recognize her from The Haunting of Hill House. She did a really great job in that show. However, this movie is written by the both of them. I didn't know this at the time, but they're actually married. So this movie had a lot of plot holes, so I couldn't enjoy this movie. At the core, this movie is your basic bare bones slasher, right? You've got a young woman with a disadvantage by herself, and a killer with a mask and weapons. And it's like a game of cat and mouse, you know. If she fails, he's going to kill her. She's got to escape. However, they don't go too much more into the detail of why he wants to kill her, or, you know, if there's a specific reason or any twists like that. So the movie feels a bit basic in that sense, that it's just like one person versus one person, you know, and there's no, you know, thematic elements either, you know. There's no, like, you know, he's picking on her specifically because, you know, she's deaf or she's just alone. He's just a psycho that just decided to randomly go around killing people, and I guess she just got caught up in it. But the biggest thing I didn't like was that the movie's writing has a lot of plot holes. For example, this movie ends 100% if she ever owns a gun. All she had to do to stop this entire movie was just own a gun, you know. As soon as he makes himself known, she runs to the bedroom, opens up a lockbox, takes out a gun, boom, it's over. Okay, let's assume that she doesn't have a gun. There are so many like other situations in this movie where she could have maybe attacked him, took the initiative, and killed him. For example, there's a scene where he's trying to get at her through a window. She slams him in the arm with the sharp end of a claw hammer. So he's like injured. So he's trying to like bind his wound, and she's just standing there like looking at him. Like she could totally just like jump out the window and start stabbing him with a knife, you know, because she has a knife and a hammer. And then there's also another scene where she gets shot with an arrow. So she goes up to, you know, clean her wounds, and she has trouble taking off her pants, and it feels like she's, you know, just in real time, she's just like sitting there for like 10 minutes trying to, you know, deal with being shot. And he just he climbs up the window and just stares at her. Like he could like go down there, she can't hear him, break in right there, and by the time she's finished bandaging herself up, he could have been in the house by then, and he would have attacked her in the bathroom. And then, oh, there's just so many more like things like that. There's another scene where he's fighting another guy, and she could run out there and help the guy, but she doesn't. She literally sits on the floor and like crying, and just so many gaping scenes. And I know that's like a cliche of the thriller horror genre where, you know, there's a scene where, you know, you bash the killer over the head with a firewood, and he lays there, and instead of like continuing to hit him and killing him, you run out the front door and he chases you so you can extend the thrill. But this movie had way too many moments where, like, you know, dumb moments. Like as soon as he started sending her texts of you know, him taking photos of her, she could have just immediately went for 911 instead of standing up, putting down the laptop. And there's this huge gap where, like, you know, she finds out that he's there, so she runs to go dial 911 on her laptop, and he hasn't even like broken the power yet. So like, it just feels like his plan was really hinging on her just being a dumbass. And there's like a lot of moments where he is also stupid and she is also stupid. And his excuse is that, you know, oh, I want to extend the terror. You know, I want to, you know, just play with her for as long as physically possible. And then when she, you know, she has all the despair in the world, then I'll go in and kill her. And it just doesn't feel like he has a good motivation, because they don't really go into his backstory or her backstory. She's not like a survivor or anything. She doesn't have any, like, there's no theme. You know, this movie's just basically him versus her. And overall, it's, you know, just a thriller at the end of the day. I enjoyed it. I mean, I enjoyed watching it. I liked the actress. She does a good job. The guy did a good job. But overall, there's just too many plot holes that were just sort of sitting there worming its way into the back of my head. I was just sitting there going like, you know, man, if she just like had the balls to run out there and just stab him while he's like laying down or whatever, or, you know, if he just like did the same thing, you know, the movie would be over within 10 minutes. So overall, Hush is an interesting movie. I like the actress, I like the director, didn't like the writing in the movie. So I give it a 3 out of 10.